Maya Fuller was murdered, her body dumped in a field in Wilson County. Now, more than a year after her body was found, a trial date is set for the three suspects in this case. And tonight, our Nick Barris shares exclusive details on evidence in a case that even today remains open.
The three suspects in the death of Maya Fuller have all pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. And I've learned one of them has now filed a motion asking for a bond in hopes of now getting out of jail.
I can't believe that happened to my child. My family do not agree with the deal. I can't believe you just did nothing.
There's a sound every black mama and daddy fears in the middle of the night. That heavy, unexpected knock at the front door, the kind of knock that turns your whole world upside down and leaves your life split wide open into a before and an after. For Maya Fuller's family, that moment came after days of pure, agonizing silence. 7 bullets, 2 broken ribs, a shattered leg, and a sweet girl's body left lying in an empty Wilson County field like she didn't belong to nobody. That's what it cost Maya to have one little disagreement with the wrong person. Maya was only 22 years old. Her mama called her a genius, and she meant every single word of it. Maya hadn't done a blessed thing to the people who took her life, nothing that comes close to making sense of the sheer evil done to her. This is a story about how some petty, playground foolishness turned into a cold, calculated hunt. How a simple message online was really just a snake hiding in the grass, and how 3 young folk, none of them even 21 yet, decided a girl they barely knew didn't deserve to see another Monday morning. Stick around, because once you hear how spiteful and deliberate this whole setup was, it's going to sit heavy on your spirit. Welcome back to the Black Docket. We dig into the cases mainstream media loves to step right over, bring light to our lost ones, and speak up when the justice system falls short. If you're riding with us, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and let us know what city you're repping today. Now, Maya was born and raised right out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, just a stone's throw outside of Nashville. She was close with her kinfolk, worked hard, and was just trying to build a nice, quiet life for herself. The last weekend of July 2022 started out as normal as any other. Friday night, she was right there at home with her family. Saturday, she went and worked her shift over at Geodis Park, the soccer stadium in Nashville. Clocked in, did her work, got her check, and clocked out. When she told her people goodbye that weekend, it wasn't no big emotional thing. Just the regular see you later, the kind you say when you expect to walk back through that same door in a day or two. Nobody in that house had any earthly idea they were watching their child walk out that door for the very last time. But while Maya was finishing up her shift at that stadium, somebody else was sitting behind a phone screen, typing in her name, scrolling through her pictures, and plotting on her. See, the night before, Maya had run into a 21-year-old girl named Tayana Tipton. The two of them got into a little back and forth. Nobody ever laid out publicly what was actually said. And truth be told, it don't even matter. What came out in court later was that it was just typical young people jawing back and forth. No weapons, nobody put hands on nobody, just loud talk. And then everybody went on about their business. For Maya, that was the end of it. She went on home, got her sleep, and went to work the next day like a mature young woman ought to. There ain't a shred of proof she ever gave Tayana Tipton another thought. But Tipton, oh, it didn't end for her. She took that little argument home, let it rot in her chest, and by the next afternoon, she turned hurt pride into a full-blown murder plot. Tipton made up her mind that Maya was going to pay in blood. But she had a problem. Maya knew her face. If Tipton reached out, Maya would have smelled a rat. So Tipton went and recruited somebody who could walk up on Maya looking completely harmless, her 20-year-old baby brother, Tyshawn Bowles. According to the state, Bowles knew all about the fight. He knew his big sister wanted blood. And knowing all of that, this boy hopped on social media, searched until he found Maya's page, a girl he'd never set eyes on in his life, and sent her a message. He told her about a party going down that night over at Island Vibes, a spot on Antioch Pike in South Nashville. Now put yourself in Maya's shoes. A club is public. It's loud, crowded, got security, got lights. Ain't nothing about that screaming trap, and the invite came from a guy who didn't have a thing to do with the foolishness from the night before. Saying yes wasn't Maya being careless, it was just a 22-year-old girl stepping out on a Saturday night to clear her head. The plan didn't need Maya to make a mistake. It just relied on her being human. And she said yes. Look at the wickedness here. This wasn't no sudden heat of the moment thing. There was time built into every single step. Tipton had all day to let her temper cool off, but she chose hate instead. Bowles had to search for a whole stranger, look through her profile, write out a lie, and keep the game going. At any point, either one of these young folk could have stopped and said, "Man, this is wrong." But neither one of them did. And they weren't alone. They brought along a third person, 20-year-old Lamira Pipkins, a friend ready to jump in whenever the dirt started flying. Maya put on her clothes and drove down to Antioch Pike, expecting good music and a little fun. She had no clue she was driving straight into the arms of 3 people who had spent all day getting ready to destroy her. When Maya pulled up to Island Vibes a little after 11 p.m., there wasn't no party. Somewhere out in that dark parking lot, away from the crowd, Tipton and Pipkins cornered her. 2-on-1. Now, one thing you need to know about Maya, she didn't just lay down and take it. She fought back with everything she had in her. But 2 against 1, ambushed in the dark, it ended the way they planned it. They beat that poor girl mercilessly, broke her ribs, broke her leg. Then the trunk popped open. Beaten, bleeding, and barely able to stand, Maya was thrown inside like trash, and that lid came slamming down. Just let that sink in for a second. That morning, she was safe at home with her mama. That afternoon, she was working her job. That night, she was folded up in the dark of a trunk, listening to the very people who beat her sitting right above her in the seats. And then they drove right out of Nashville, across the county line, all the way into Wilson County. Maya was alive for every single mile of that ride, locked in the dark, feeling every bump in the road, praying to God with no way out. They finally pulled over on a dead, quiet strip off Trammel Lane near Lebanon, out in the middle of nowhere. The trunk popped open one last time. And Tayana Tipton raised the gun and shot Maya 7 times. 7 separate times she pulled that trigger. They left that child lying in the dirt and drove back home like they just finished running an errand. When Maya didn't come home, her mama and family started panicking. Her family reported her missing, and things got real cold real fast when they found her gray Toyota Camry sitting right where she left it outside Island Vibes. She hadn't ever made it back to her car. Days of painful waiting followed until August 6, 2022, when a land developer off Trammel Lane noticed a bad smell coming from the woods.
The Welches had called me and said basically, hey, they found a body on our property. And I was like, what? Like, you got to be kidding. They smelt a strange odor, and she thought, well, maybe an animal or something like that, was there, and some buzzards was flying around. And next thing you know, they walk off the side of the hill and find a pair of tennis shoes laying, inside the ground. And they was like, oh my, this is not like an old World War II bunker type place. And she was actually over on one of those bunker areas, like kind of hidden. Any crimes do you see involving females, especially with murder? If I could say anything that, I praise the sheriff's office for doing very diligent work and bringing this to a quick close. I mean, a year for a murder investigation to find especially 3 people involved, it was a very good thing.
Police had to work a heavy multi-county case.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Captain Scott Moore, Public Information Officer with the Wilson County Sheriff's Office, and we want to start off by thanking each of the media outlets that were able to come here today to a special called press conference on behalf of the family of Maya Fuller. Joining me today is Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Attorney Brian Lewis, who is representing the Fuller family, Mr. and Mrs. Fuller. We have the District Attorney General of the 15th District, Jason Lawson. We have Sergeant Detective Walker Woods, Detective Travis Donnell, and Major B.J. Stafford of the Criminal Investigations Division. I would ask that you please hold off any questions until the end of that time. of our upcoming speakers, and please direct your question to the appropriate person. At this time, I would ask Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan to come address the media.
Thank each of y'all for being here today. Today, we are here to honor Maya Fuller. Maya was a young and vibrant young woman who had her whole life ahead of her. We are here to let the individual or individuals that are responsible for her death to know that we're going to find you. Justice will be served for Maya and her family. We are here asking for the public's help for information that you may know, but until now have been hesitant to disclose. Our detectives have identified several persons of interest through the course of the investigation. We are continuing to pursue those leads very actively. A short timeline of events. On July 29th, Maya was last seen in Murfreesboro, Tennessee by her family members. July 30th, Maya worked an event at the Nashville Soccer Club at Geodis Park in Nashville. Maya's last known location was a party located at Island Vibes nightclub on Antioch Pike, close to Harding Place, during the late night hours of July 30th and the early morning hours of July 31st. Maya was wearing jeans, a shirt, and bright pink Puma tennis shoes. Maya's dark gray 2020 Toyota Camry was located in a parking lot close to the Island Vibes nightclub. August 6th, Maya's body was located in a wooded area on Trammel Lane in the southeastern portion of Wilson County. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office continues to stand with the Fuller family. We will not rest until the person or persons responsible for her murder are identified and prosecuted. August 16th, the Wilson County Sheriff's Office released a press release and issued a reward of up to $1,000 by the Wilson County Sheriff's Office for anyone with information that leads to the successful identification and prosecution of the persons or persons responsible. Today, the Wilson County Sheriff's Office will be increasing that reward from $1,000 to up to $5,000 for information that will lead to the identification of the person responsible. Currently, detectives with the Wilson County Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Division continue to investigate these circumstances surrounding the murder of Maya. The investigation is very active at this time, and the Sheriff's Office requests that anyone with any information pertaining to Maya Fuller's murder to contact the Wilson County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division. The Fuller family is currently working with attorney Brian Lewis regarding a private reward fund, and he is available to speak on behalf of the Fuller family, who has requested no media contact. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Sheriff. My name's Brian Lewis. I'm an attorney and spokesperson for the Fuller family. First of all, we would like to extend many thanks to the Wilson County Sheriff's Department, to the Sheriff, to the District Attorney's Office that have worked tirelessly on this case. And it's also our understanding there have been a couple other jurisdictions involved working on this case. I think Metro Nashville and potentially Rutherford County. The Fullers are grateful, very grateful for their efforts. To date, friends and family all across the United States have come together and raised $16,000 for the reward fund at this point. And if you couple that with the $5,000 from the Sheriff's Department, the Crime Stoppers, we're at $21,000 and $21,100 right now. We're hoping that this will pry loose some type of tip that will lead to the successful identification and prosecution of the person responsible for this heinous crime. We are also asking anyone in the community that wants to contribute to the reward fund to please feel free to send additional monies in. The monies will be made payable to James Brian Lewis Attorney escrow account. And there's a daily update given to the Fullers concerning the amount of money that goes into the reward fund. This is the second time that I have done this. I participated in the Caitlin Kaufman case in Nashville, and the reward fund led to the successful arrest and ongoing prosecution of the persons responsible for that. And we are hopeful that this will work the same way. And I know the Fullers from the bottom of their heart thank everyone for what they're doing. And thank you.
Thank you. We are reaching out to the members of the public for your help. If you know what happened to Maya, contact the Wilson County Sheriff's Office or click on Crime Stoppers tip in the top right-hand corner of our homepage, wcso95.org, for any information on Maya's murder. Any information, no matter how minute, could be vital in helping us to solve Maya's murder. We will take a few questions. I want everybody to understand we can only answer certain questions because this is an ongoing case. So I'm going to ask the Major B.J. Stafford and Sergeant Walker Woods to open it up for questions from the media, if there is any.
I know you guys said you had some leads. Can you give us an idea of like what these leads are helping you get to? You've reached a certain person of interest. Just what other kind of information can you give to help people know how much support is pouring in already from the community?
We have had multiple calls come in giving us information which has been helpful up to this point. We do continue to investigate as far as any particular persons of interest. We can't explain those right now just for the integrity of the investigation. There are multiple leads that we're pursuing. We're pursuing technological leads, conventional leads. We're talking to people, and the investigation is continuing to move forward. But in reference to anyone particular, I can't explain that right now.
For the Fuller's lawyer, can you, on behalf of the family, tell us anything about her personality, what she was like? Just fill us in on the type of person Maya was.
She was a very tender-hearted, kind, loving young lady who had a bright future ahead of her.
Chandler Sullivan, Democrat. Interested if the revelation of her whereabouts at the Island Vibes was just because of the car, or if you actually had confirmation from physical people that saw her there and may have had additional details about what happened.
So we have multiple sources of confirmation for that location aside from the vehicle. I can't go into detail about those, but I would say that that is a very important location in the timeline leading up to the death of Maya Fuller, and anyone that had any contact with her there that evening or anywhere else that evening would be very important for us to have any information that you might have. As I said, we do have multiple different ways of confirming that location, but there is still information that we would like to ascertain.
Was there any video evidence of her leaving that with a certain person or seen with any?
That's still privy to the ongoing investigation. We wouldn't be able to comment on that right now.
Have you guys spoken to the people at Island Vibes at all? Been in contact with the owner of the establishment to see if they saw her? Have they been helpful to you at all in this investigation?
We've spoken to multiple people in that area, multiple different businesses and business owners, including those, of course. I can't go into the details of exactly what information has been shared, but we have spoken with those people as well as adjacent owners.
Was her being last seen at Island Vibes and you were, I know for a while we were told she was last seen at Julie's Park.
We've had that information for some time now. Due to the progress of the investigation, we have to wait for appropriate times to release certain information as it pertains to the investigation. So we've been working leads surrounding that location for some time.
Can you tell us if Maya has any siblings or anything of that sort?
Yes, she does have siblings.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
I'm sorry. Yes, she does have siblings.
Can you tell us how many siblings she has?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell us how many siblings she has?
One sibling.
As a motive been determined? That's still under investigation.
Thank you all for coming. This will conclude the press conference. Any additional information that we are able to release in the future, I'll be more than happy to share that with the media. We appreciate you getting the information out and helping the Fuller family.
It's a long-awaited update to a mysterious case. Nearly a year after a Murfreesboro woman went missing and her body was found in rural Wilson County, law enforcement have announced several arrests. A grand jury indicted a pair of siblings and a third suspect. All three charged with murder and kidnapping. News 2's Kendall Ashman has been following this story since the very beginning and was at that press conference today.
It's been almost exactly 1 year ago that our deputies here in Wilson County found Maya.
It was a highly anticipated press conference.
Yesterday, 3 suspects were able to be identified as being responsible for Maya's death.
Finally, some closure when you look back on a timeline of the past year. Maya was last seen by family members on July 29th. She reportedly worked a shift at Yoda's Park the next day. That night, she was seen at a nightclub on Antioch Pike.
It's a terrible thing. I mean, it's tragic.
Her body was found on August 6th behind this property under development off Trammel Lane.
So any long-term investigation like this naturally is going to have major breaks at different times throughout the investigation.
A breakthrough on the case came on January 17th when search warrants were obtained for multiple suspects.
This was not an ongoing relationship. These parties did not know each other. These were not long-term relationships. These individuals had become acquainted over the course of the previous 24 hours.
Is there surveillance video of Maya with these suspects?
We have multiple different types of surveillance video that support our case.
And with still many unanswered questions, such as a motive, Detective Walker says he's confident justice has been served.
Bringing justice to Maya in this senseless act it's overwhelming is the best way that I can put it. It's very difficult to describe, and I'm honored to have been a part of this.
Now, all 3 suspects are being held in the Wilson County Jail without bond. Again, these are the mugshots of Tayana Tipton, Tyshawn Bowles, and Lamira Pipkins. On top of first-degree murder, Bowles has also been charged with abuse of a corpse. Now, when District Attorney Jason Lawson was asked if this is considered a death penalty case, he responded with, "At this time, all options will be considered fairly."
It took almost a whole year of digging, digital forensics, and grand jury testimonies before law enforcement finally put handcuffs on Tayana Tipton, Tyshawn Bowles, and Lamira Pipkins. But if you think justice came easy, think again. What happened in that courtroom felt like a whole new slap in the face to Maya's family. In March 2025, right before trial, Tayana Tipton stepped up and pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. She got handed a life sentence. The woman who pulled the trigger won't ever breathe free air again. Then in March 2026, Lamira Pipkins pleaded guilty to facilitation of first-degree murder and got hit with 20 years. But the deal they gave Tyshawn Bowles, the brother who hunted Maya down on the internet and handed her over to the wolves, that deal made people's blood boil. Bowles was allowed to plead guilty to a reduced charge, facilitation of a specially aggravated kidnapping. They gave that boy just 12 years, with a chance to walk out on parole after serving only a small slice of that time. Listen to the sheer heartbreak and rage in Maya's mama's voice when she heard what they gave the man who lured her baby.
Child, I can't believe you just stood there and did nothing. Again, letting you know that Maya Christine Fuller was and will always be the light in my eyes, the light in my family eyes, and she did not deserve what happened to her. It was despicable, it's still despicable, and these people walk around and trying to defend these folks, and you have no idea. She just went to a party. Just went to a party. That's it. And you didn't even give her the grace to just beat her, or just to even call the cops. You stood there, walked away, threw your hands up. And you get 12 years? 30% served? My God. I say to any family members that find themselves in the place where my family members are.
How do you plead, Mr. Bowles?
Guilty.
The woman who pulled the trigger got life. The friend who helped beat her got 20 years. But the boy who cast the net, the one who set the whole trap using a screen, got the lightest walk of them all. He could be back out on the street before he even turns 35. A judge closing a folder doesn't mean justice was served. It don't give Maya's mama her daughter back. And it sure don't answer the question that keeps this community up at night. Why? How does a little meaningless argument on a Friday night end with a beautiful black woman shot 7 times in a dark field? Maya Fuller wasn't just another body, and she wasn't just a headline. She was 22, full of ambition, deeply loved by her kinfolk, and a genius in her mama's eyes. Look out for yourselves and look out for your people. Be careful who you let into your inbox. Be careful whose party you slide to. And when folks bring drama your way, walk on past it. Because you never truly know how far somebody is willing to go when they let hate take over. Maya's life was taken, but we ain't gonna let her name be forgotten. How do y'all feel about that 12-year deal they gave the brother who sent the message? Was that justice, or did the court drop the ball? Sound off in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Subscribe to the Black Docket as we keep standing up for our own, digging into the truth, and telling these stories the way they deserve to be told. Rest easy, Maya Fuller.